It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Lake Erie track and field athlete, Harry Ross Hughes. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in competing in college track and field?
Yeah, so when I was around high 16, going into becoming a 17-year-old, I had a good friend of mine called Josh, who was one of the biggest runners in my school. So he, first of all, was talking about going to America and first of all signed his contract to go to America. So it was at that point I realized, because I was on the track team too, but I wasn't as serious as him. And it was at that point I realized that, like, you can actually make a future out of track, and like it's something that you can really seriously do. So when I was around 17, I dropped out of my version of football, your guys' soccer, and officially took track as serious. And later on, about a year later, signed my contract to come over to the States.
What was that process like coming over to the United States and getting to compete collegiately?
Well, it's sort of stressful. I mean, there is agents there to help you, but shout out to my mom. She helped me out massively with all the paperwork and stuff. Um, and then coming over to the track and field, the the workouts and just overall, it's just so much more serious. Like back at home, obviously, I wasn't taking it as serious first off. So every now and then, I'd take the nice rest day that I'd want. I wouldn't take it as serious, and I just, prefer to sleep in bed all day. And then I started to get better and better at it. And then once I came here, it was so much more serious, with that being the coaches speaking to you every day. You've got to work practice every day. You've got to lift, and it's just way more serious. And a big step up to hopefully coming better.
During that process of coming to the US and competing collegiately, how did you come about Lake Erie College, and how did you know that that would be the best fit for you?
Well, I got recruited by the previous coach, and he left, but I also created some good relationships with some of the athletes who are all still on the team, so I'm still great friends with them. But overall, Lake Erie was a good choice because it's a pretty small campus with pretty small classes. So I liked it because it'd be a lot more personal to me. Like in my classes, there's some classes where I've had 3 to 5 people in, and it's just professors know your names, things like that. Whereas if you go to a big school, you're just a number at that point.
What is that like getting to represent Lake Erie and putting on the uniform for them?
Well, first off, it was a cross country race, and it's a common known fact that Harry doesn't really like cross country too much. So first off, it was okay, and then the cross country race we did was actually red hot, so it wasn't too enjoyable. But overall, putting the Lake Erie jersey on is good because coming here, it wasn't the biggest of schools, it wasn't the best of schools, but now I feel like we're creating a legacy and a name for Lake Erie, and we're doing that year on year by getting more recruits in. So putting it on is feels like I'm helping Lake Erie gain its name back.
What was that like getting to go on the Team Great Britain team and represent the national team?
Um, it's something that's just amazing, isn't it? People dream of representing their country in whichever way. So when you get the first call up for the first GB vest, it's hard to describe, but it's an honor, and it's just one of the greatest things ever. A dream that I've had for many years, and then getting to put the vest on for the first time. There was a time when I was over in Jerusalem competing, where after the race I just looked down, looked at my vest, looked at my jersey, and then looked up at the crowd and realized where I was. And it's one of them I made it moments, and it's just sick.
How is that feeling like getting to put on that vest for Great Britain and seeing that all of your hard work paid off?
As I said, looking down on it, just seeing that you've got the GB vest, and number one, hopefully it's going to be more, but the first one, there's nothing ever, and no other GB vest will be the same other than the first. Knowing that you've just represented your country and you can give everything you've got just to get GB on that podium. But yeah, it's something that it's unforgettable and indescribable, to be honest.
What was that like getting to compete in the UK Athletic Championship?
Um, so first off, I didn't actually know that it was the Olympic trials. My coach actually informed me because I got the email and it just says UK Athletics. So I just thought it was another, decently big race. And then, so for a couple of weeks, I just thought, well, it's just another race, so let's go. And then I was informed by my coach that it's actually the Olympic trials. So that one actually made it a little bit cooler, and a little bit a step back moment of, oh, I'm going to the Olympic trials. Although I don't really have, the best of shot to actually go, it's still another thing to put on the resume that I got to go to the trials.
How is that experience like getting to compete in the Olympic trials, but also getting to compete in the Division Two championship in the same year?
Um, Big race after big race, to be honest. It just can't help yourself but smile, to be honest. The D2 nationals, that was, it like sets you up kind of, because obviously it's a big race. It's national. It's very serious. But obviously, when you go to Olympic trials, you've got the pros there, so it's like a big step and block.
What does it mean to set world records for Lake Erie?
Um, like I said before, with the legacy, just my aim is to set as many school records as possible, make them as hard as possible, so I can stay on the board for as long as possible, and just create the stepping blocks and have a goal for future Lake Erie athletes to just aim for, and then hopefully I become one of the guys that people, say, oh, I want to be as good as Harry.
How does it feel to hold records in Lake Erie's program?
It's pretty nice, to be fair. It was always a goal to come and see how many records I could get. Didn't expect to get so many so quick, and now it's just how much can I better myself, and how much more can I put Lake Erie on the map.
During your time, what have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish?
Um, I've been able, 3-time All-American, made great friends, countless records, GMAC and stuff like that. Created relationships with other teammates, to be fair. Um, and another one is just, being the guy that everyone's scared of to race, being the guy, the front leading guy. Everyone knows that I'm going to be the one at the front. And then obviously taking away from school, Olympic trials, running just as good back home, and officially representing my country.
What are some of your future plans after your time at Lake Erie?
My hopefully plan is to go pro, to go to the Olympics, win the Olympics, get as many British records as possible, and just become one of the greatest British athletes, to be honest.
What advice would you give those people that are in overseas looking to compete in college?
I would say go and do it. Everyone I know who's come over to the States just excels. Of myself included, I feel as if I've improved dramatically. Everyone I know who's come over to the States just says it's the greatest thing they've ever done. It's the greatest decision, and you know, everyone just seems to be getting better. And if you look at the best times, most of them are in America. So stats don't lie.
What advice would you give those players that are looking to compete on the national team level, whether it's US, Great Britain, or Canada?
I'd say it's something a goal every single track athlete should have. It's the pinnacle, in my opinion, representing your country. Obviously, whichever country you're from, representing your country is a common thing. That's the pinnacle, and it's something that I feel as if everyone should do because it's just the best. It's the top thing in it. So keep working, keep grinding. Yeah, just keep going. put all in. Don't go half in. Go all in, just like me, and look what can happen.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media?
Harry Ross Hughes. It's basically everything on Instagram. TikTok. I've got a new TikTok. Harry Runs, but the A's are 4. Trying to go viral there. And yeah, drop me a follow. Drop me a DM. Let's go.
Thank you again, Harry Ross for your interview, and best luck in your future at Lake Erie as the track and field athlete.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Harry Ross, for your interview, and best luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.